Hey guys, welcome back to World Mechanics. Today we're going to attempt another bumper restoration right here, guys. As you can see, this Ford C-Max 2013 model has been hit in the front and there is a hole in the bumper. As you can see, it's right here, it's on the side too, it's not good at all, and replacement is pretty expensive, and we'll show you how to fix it, guys, and make it like new without buying a new bumper cover. It won't cost you too much. The things that we're using probably will spend less than 40 bucks for supply, so stay with us to see how we're going to do it and if you will like the results. Alright guys, as you can see, we took all the grills off, all the bumper inserts, and now we can proceed by fixing the hole and actually make that thing like new again. It's going to take some time, but it will save you a lot of money, especially if you're in a country where this bumper cover is pretty expensive. Even if it's in the United States, it's still expensive, pretty expensive, because C-Max are not as popular. It works on any vehicle, guys, any bumper repair, you'll be able to do that. Doesn't matter what make, model, BMW, Mercedes. We have one on the Mercedes, how to fix it as well. So what we're going to need is a torch, or you can use just a hairdryer. If you don't have a little torch, you can use a hairdryer to heat it up, and we'll show you why we need to do that. Okay, so we're going to fire it up now, and what we'll need to do, you need to go underneath the bumper, okay, and you need to start heating it up. But what you need to do, you need to make sure you don't stay at one spot for too long. You need to be moving quickly back and forth so the plastic doesn't get too hot. You just need to make it warm, guys, okay? Just warm, not too hot. You don't want to melt it. And once you do that, okay, we'll show you. You can do that with a hairdryer as well. If you don't have a torch, just a regular hairdryer will work too, okay? Okay, now we got it hot on this side right here, and you can push with something underneath. Okay, now you need to get water, and we're going to spray it now. Okay, right there. Now we need to spray cold water on it, or just pour some water on it. Okay, like that. And it's going to make it cold. And once you get it cold like that, guys, the plastic will stay where it's supposed to. Okay, you need to apply pressure while you're applying cold water on it, and it needs to be to where you can touch it and it's not warm. And then you can proceed by doing the same to the rest of the bumper. Guys, we're done heating this thing up. As you can see right now, that's what we got. And you can see how much smoother it is now. The hole looks way smaller, so stay with us to see what else you need to do now. So now, guys, we need a small drill bit, and we're going to make a few holes. Okay, like that. And we're going to use zip tie. Okay, so what they call that, it's kind of like the drifter stitch. They use that on bumpers a lot, but we're going to do that just to fix the bumper while we're applying the other components, so we can make sure it's fixed, nothing is moving. Okay, and you need to get the zip tie through the hole here and just get it tight on the inside and pull it. Okay, you can see when you pull, it will get tight here and it will fix the bumper. Okay guys, that's what it looks like right now. As you can see, we put all the stitching now. What we need to do now, we need to get a little bit bigger drill bit like that, and we need to make a few holes around the damaged area, as you can see right here. Okay, just go like that. Okay. And last two holes, guys, and as you can see, you need to have holes around the whole damaged area right here. That way the epoxy that we're going to apply will get in the holes, and it will hold really strong, and it will not crack from vibrations, because the plastic tends to vibrate and it's very flexible. Next thing, we need to get some sandpaper, like 80 or 100, and you need to sand the bumper. What you need to do, guys, you need to get one sandpaper, 150, 100, something like that, and you just need to sand the area that we're going to repair. Okay, and you go outside of it as well. You probably go about about an inch and a half to 2 inches out of the area that we're repairing. Okay, you need to make sure that everything is sanded. And you need to sand the inside of the bumper cover as well. Then you need to get acetone, okay, and we need to clean the area that we're going to fix. Need to make sure that there is no dirt, dust, sanding material, anything. It needs to be perfectly clean before we can proceed, and it needs to be dry before we apply the compound. Okay, clean the front as well. Now we need to get tape and just cover the big holes with that tape, because we'll be applying the epoxy on the inside of the bumper first. So cover all big holes like that with tape, we'll be removing it later. Alright guys, now you can get something like that from the lumberyard, that's for drywall repair. Or we can use quart, okay, and we're going to just apply a few of those on the inside, okay, around the damaged area, and that way when we mix the epoxy, it's going to make it really strong. We're going to do a few layers, that way it will not crack, and it will be even stronger than original bumper. Okay, that's the epoxy we're using, guys. You can get this one pretty inexpensive, especially Harbor Freight tools, they sell this one. Okay, and you need to apply an equal amount of both compounds. Okay, we applied both, and now what we need to do, we need to mix it pretty good, and depending on which one you get, one is fast setting, this one is you have about 2-3 minutes to mess with it before it gets pretty hard. Okay, just mix it good. Now it's going to change color. When you mix it, you get whitish instead of being clear. And after that you need to start applying epoxy. Okay, you need to make sure that you apply it pretty good. Don't save it, you need to have a good amount of it to cover the whole area. Okay, and that part that we use, as you can see, the one for the drywall, we can use quart. It's going to make it super strong. It's like what they used to build the boats. Okay, just like that. You need to make sure that it soaks good. Okay guys, then you can get some gauze, you know, the one that if you're hurt you put it on top of the wound, okay, like that, and you put it on the epoxy right now, so it's going to hold it and it's not going to leak everywhere. Okay, just like that, and it will start setting faster that way, because otherwise it can get pretty liquidy and it will run everywhere. Okay, we mix a little bit more because the first one set. You need to work a little bit at a time, and now we're going to do the rest of it, guys. Just do the whole repair now. Okay, we're done with the back side. Now we're going to remove the tape on the front, and we will apply epoxy to the front as well. You can see we leaked some out, but that's fine, we will be sanding it later anyways. Okay, so now we will do the same procedure, guys, to the front that we did to the back. Alright guys, as you can see, we apply a little bit to the front, and now we will just let it dry and get really hard for about 24 hours. You need to not mess with it, just leave it for about 24 hours. Alright guys, we let it dry. It's been almost 24 hours, and now with a grinder or a sandpaper, you can use the sandpaper, but we will use the grinder. We're going to grind it and make it, you need to make it scratched up on top, because if it's smooth, the bonder will not bond to it. We'll show how to do that now, so go ahead and grind it, okay? Alright guys, that's what it should look like, and now we need to clean it with acetone again, and we'll be using Bondo glass, or you can get it from any part store, Walmart, Bondo glass like that for repairing cars, boats, you can see. And it comes with a hardener, so stay with us to see, but first we need to clean it and make sure it's dry before we apply it. So you need to make sure you mix it good when you open it, okay, like that. And you need to be out of the sun, guys. Don't stay in the sun, because that hardener will activate really quick and you won't have almost any time to work with it. Okay, and you need to, depending on how much you're fixing your bumper and what the damage was, you might need to go 1 or 2 times, depending how much the damage is. It's hard to tell, but we'll be using that much for now, and we'll probably need more later. After we sand it, we'll show you what you need to do. Now you need to apply hardener. Okay, just the cream you put on top, and then you mix it good, but you need to be quick. to mix it quick, because otherwise it will activate. Okay, that's enough. In hot weather you use less, in cold weather you use a little bit more, but right now it's about 75 degrees here, so that's what we'll be using. And you just mix it good. You need to make sure that you need one color, not green. You need to make sure that there is no different shades of green, and then you start applying it on the bumper. Okay, you can see just like that. And this one is pretty rough, but we will sand it. It will get really smooth, and after that we'll see what damage is, if it needs more or not. And at the end we'll be using the really fine Bondo on top. That will make it super smooth and the bumper will look great. Okay, just like that. And you need to let it dry for probably at least 45 minutes before you start sanding it, to maybe an hour. Okay guys, we're going to sand a little bit right here because it still looks a little bit low, and before we sand everything we're going to apply a little bit more. So as you can see right here, it's still a little bit of a hole, so we're going to sand it so the new Bondo sticks to the old one, and we will use the grinder. We apply the second coat now to see what it looks like. After that it looks pretty smooth now, so we'll just wait for it to get hard and sand it. We're going to use a 60 sandpaper now. You can do it by hand, but we'll use the machine so it can save us some time, but you can do it by hand as well. And just start sanding it until it's smooth. It should look something like that. You can see how smooth it's getting, but that's just the rough Bondo right now. We're going to apply a smooth layer that will make it look super nice and smooth, but this one is really strong. That glass Bondo, it's the one they use for the boats, and it's a good foundation. It makes it super strong. Now we need to clean it with acetone again so we can apply the smooth Bondo on top of it. And there are so many different ones on the market. The cheapest one is that one right there. It's made by Bondo Professional. There is a cheaper one than that, but the gold one is pretty easy to work with. But we'll be using, we have a 3M that we buy a gallon because we use it a lot at the shop. So stay with us to see how we're going to mix it and apply it now. That's the 3M one that we're using, white lead filler, and this one works super nice. We got that thing, a whole gallon for only 30 bucks on eBay, and that will last you a long time. You can fix at least not to say a big word, but 50 bumpers, no problem. So altogether you're not going to be spending too much. If you get a small can of gold Bondo and glass and epoxy with the sandpapers and everything, you'll probably spend less than $40 for supplies. And paint, of course, but even if you buy a new bumper you still need to paint it. So okay, stay with us now. We need to apply a little bit of hardener now on top, and they come in different colors, but it's pretty much the same thing. It doesn't matter, so you just apply a little bit depending on the temperature again. If it's too hot you apply less, and do not do that in the sun. You have to be in shade, because otherwise it will activate too fast and you won't be able to work with it. So you need to mix it really good until it's one color, and you don't have different shades of white and blue, so it needs to be just blue or red if you use the red hardener. Okay, now you need to apply it smooth again. It depends on how rough it is. You might have to do it twice, but in our case I think everything will come out from one time only. You just apply it and then we will sand it again. And when you sand it you need to shape it the way the bumper should be. So you just get, the more you do the better you get with those things. Okay, with sanding it will make it really smooth. So what we are going to do now, we'll start sanding, and we already did a little bit with 120 sandpaper. You can do it by hand or with the machine, and just go ahead and make it smooth. Alright guys, then you can get 120 and finish it by hand. And what you're going to do, you need to try with your hands and see if you have any high spots. If you do, what you need to do, like right here we have a little bit of a high spot, you're going to sand there, just send for a little bit and then try again. Okay, now it's pretty smooth, and you need to shape it the way it's supposed to be. So we have a crease right here that we're shaping now, and we're done now. But as you can see, there is still a little bitty pinholes here and there. Okay, so those holes, now we need to clean it with acetone again, and we're going to just apply a little bit in the holes. And you can see how much better it already looks compared to what it was. Alright guys, we filled up the little holes. Now what you need to get is a 400 sandpaper, wet sandpaper, okay, like that. And you need to dip it in water and you need to start sanding the bumper. You need to make sure that you sand the whole thing. We'll show you how much you need to sand. When it dries, it needs to be dull, and you should have no shiny spot at all on the bumper, because we'll be priming it and then painting. Because if it's shiny, the primer and the paint will not stick to the bumper and will peel off later. Alright guys, what we're going to do now, we're going to use a primer. You can buy in a spray can if you want, but a high build will be really good one. Okay, we're using this one, really inexpensive, 1 gallon. It will last you a long time, so you don't need a gallon for the bumper. You need probably less than half a quart. So you can buy a really small can, that's the activator. Some of them come pre-mixed, ready to spray, some come with activator. We did 1 coat already guys on the bumper right here, and now we're going to do a second one. You have to wait between the coats about 15 minutes, 20 minutes depending on how hot it is. We're also working on that hood here as well to save it. Instead of buying a $500–600 hood, it had a little bit of damage here. So now we're going to apply a second coat in a little bit, and after that we will let it dry and see what the result is. We're ready to apply the second coat now and see what it looks like after that. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get a 220 sandpaper, and we're going to dip it in water and we're going to sand the primer. Okay, you don't need to sand it all the way off, but that way you'll make it really smooth. If you have high-low spots, you'll be able to get them, but you need to use a bulk. You can actually even use a wood bulk if you don't have any special bulk. But even if you need to buy one, it's like $4, not very expensive, and you can reuse it for a long time. And we'll show you how much we need to sand. You see we'll start getting low and high spots here and there, as you can see, like right here. Right now that's the Bondo showing. Okay, let me show you, which means that was a high spot there and we have a low spot around it. So it makes it really smooth. And after that we're going to prime it one more time and we'll just paint it. Okay guys, here is the bumper. We painted it today. You can see we put it back together. Okay, and if you paint that color, just you need to get about enough paint for 4 coats. Okay, for this bumper you need a little bit over half a coat, and you can see we painted it and where we fixed it, how good looking it is now. Okay, right here, as you can see, you cannot even tell where the damage is. We have all the trim parts, and inside the bumper you can still see, okay, right here, where the Bondo and the fiberglass is right there, but nothing on the outside. Nobody will be able to tell what's inside the bumper, and you can see we just saved $400–500 guys. You cannot even tell that it's been repaired. Look how clean it is, how good looking. You cannot tell where the crack was. The whole hole right here that was in the bumper. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our main channel.